As the records of this House will testify, the government of President John Dramani Mahama and the NDC majority, and I believe the Right Honorable Speaker, we are all very committed to the passage of the Human Sexual Rights and Family Values Bill. If you recall, a couple of weeks ago when we debated this, I was the person who insisted that the fastest way to have this passed into law is to take a position that this Parliament has already passed it. So what is left is signature. And I recall many on your side arguing against my position, and so Speaker ruled, and he ruled that so far as he is concerned, the life of the 8th Parliament had elapsed, and this is a new Parliament, and once it wasn't signed, it had to be reintroduced afresh and taken through all the stages. So if you had listened to my advice and sided with me in the debate in this House, that we should treat it as having been passed by this House, and that once it is passed by this House, it is not part of businesses that have elapsed. By now, we would have left it squarely in the hands of the presidency to sign. But because I didn't get that support from you, the position became that it hasn't been passed, and so we must take it through all these processes. So if there's anybody committed to this legislation being passed, clearly it is me and then the people on this side, especially to have it passed expeditiously. Now, you decide that it should be freshly considered by this House, and I think that at this point, the Speaker indicated that it is going through the mail and will come back to this House. And so it is not an attempt by government. It's not an attempt by government. And President John Dramani Mahama has indicated time and again that any moment that the bill is brought before him, he will expeditiously sign it. So my honorable colleague, Honorable Ntim Fordjour, even though in the 8th Parliament, I really didn't see you actively involved in having this bill passed. I know you were a sponsor of the bill, but as we considered it, I didn't really see much of your involvement. I didn't really see. If you recall, it was my committee that it was referred to. It was my committee. And then I didn't see much of your own personal involvement. And so I am surprised that all of a sudden you think that this is an urgent matter that must engage a priority in terms of the work of this House. And also, when we were all putting pressure on President Akufo-Addo to sign, I didn't see you helping us to put pressure on President Akufo-Addo. I didn't see you. I didn't see you resisting, you know. And now you have found your voice, and you think that President John Dramani Mahama or the NDC is conspiring not to have the bill, you know, introduced and passed. I can assure you that we are very committed to having the bill introduced and passed.